Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching my videos. I'm here alone today. Inti is at home right now, taking care of his family, but he should be in the chat group, making sure that everybody is having fun and behaving themselves. All right, today we're going to be talking about, wow, the Bitcoin got up to like $9,500 last night whilst we were sleeping here in North America and South America. Unbelievable. And I think we're going to go, I think we might go a little bit higher, but we're going to talk about that in the moment. In the moment. But before that, right, I want to say that this is no financial advice, right? You're supposed to do your own research and decide for yourself what you should do with your own hard-earned money. All right, with that said, you have like 8 hours left, just 8 hours to sign up for Pandora's Wallet for permanent access to my Telegram group right here for Pandora's Wallet subscribers. After that, you will not have permanent access. You'll, if you have a subscription on May 1st, right? You will, and that subscription lapses, then you have to renew your subscription in order to maintain access to our Telegram group. Also, the other benefits of purchasing a subscription is that I'm working on a white paper for decentralizing Pandora's Wallet. And what I'm going to do is use a token to decentralize Pandora's Wallet. And I'm going to be giving it, I may be giving out tokens. I have to say that because, I don't want the SEC down my throat. So if I decide to do this, and I decide to give out tokens, right, you'll be getting an equal share based on how much you spend, not how much you, how many months of a subscription you got or how many dollar amounts. Basically, it's going to be based on the actual Bitcoin amount that you purchased with for Pandora's Wallet. So even though it's a little bit higher price right now, rest assured that you will get more of the tokens than somebody who paid a lower price, because it will be based on the price of that you paid in Bitcoins. So yeah, thank you for everyone that has subscribed so far. It's just been an amazing month to this month of April. We've have like quite a few subscriptions, and we keep growing. Like just yesterday, we had like 35 new subscriptions to Pandora's Wallet, and I hope to see some more by the end of today. Okay, with that said, let's get on with the TA. Wow, unbelievable. Just like I said, I don't know why that's happening here. They need to fix this with Coinergy, but the wick is missing here. I've seen that it happened earlier this morning. The wick disappeared and then reappeared. So let's just see if I get it to reappear by going to daily and then going back to the weekly. No, weird, odd, very odd. But anyways, the wick it's somewhere up near not exactly at 9,500, 9,477 area here. And yeah, it almost touched that trend line. I wish it did, but it might. Again, today we might roll back up and touch that trend line. Looking at the short term, let's at the daily time frame here. Wow, this is at the yeah. You know what? Look at that. What is that? Is that set to magnet? Yeah, okay, so here's the wick, $9,485.26 we see here, is where Bitcoin is at. Let's see, so right now, I think we're gonna probably roll back up. Now, I wouldn't trust it to rolling all the way back up to break this level. So again, right, I would probably use my what's it called, my Hail Mary trade to short this thing in case if it does roll back up. Most likely it will, because I didn't see, well, it didn't give anybody a chance really to get in on the short. Well, maybe it did, because like you could see that here. If we go to the hourly, let's go to the hourly. You can see on the hourly it did like what's called an empire kind of trade here, where this is called a fractal as well, and then you could have like went short here on this next candle, but that because of the empire had this huge tail, it was kind of scary to take. So I really think that this might cause Bitcoin to roll back up, and unfortunately because of it didn't quite touch the trend line, I'm a little concerned that if you're trading this, that that Bitcoin might break through the 78.6 and go higher. But take a look. What's interesting about this 78.6? Let me just hide the VPVR, because that's probably getting in your way. As you can see, let me just see if I can zoom in on this a little bit so that you guys maybe can see a little bit better. Nope, that deletes the fibs. That's probably why we're seeing that. Many people are seeing that. Even like Tone Base is seeing that the fibs are disappearing. The fib numbers are disappearing. All right, so it doesn't matter. Let's just go on. So if we go to, what the heck? What just happened there? Because now the numbers are different. That's weird. Wow. Because I could have swore we had the fibs at the 78.6 at, I must have drawn it wrong the first time. But anyways, let's take a look. 78.6 is at 9,262. Oh man, what's going on? Something's not quite right, I feel. That's a little off. Did I screw something up? Okay, let's try doing that again. Okay, there we go. So now, can you guys see the numbers a little bit better? Probably, yeah, because I could tell that this is a lot better. This is a lot bigger and a lot better. All right, so we should be rolling back up to 78.6, maybe, right? But that's where you'd have a position of strength, right? And I always play from a position of strength, right? Because I don't want to get wrecked. And you shouldn't too. All right, so with that said, let's take a look at where Bitcoin can go over the long term and how big this move could be. I really think if we go back down to the shorter time frames, I mean the bigger time frames, the daily time frames at least. Let's see here. And of course, my fib numbers have all disappeared. That's all right. And auto line, right? And there we go. So if we go to the daily time frame, we're way oversold. So you should not be buying here at all, right? This is, even though it could go higher, it's just you're in the nosebleed section. We've gone too far, too fast at this point in time, and so at this point it's a day trader's paradise at this point. And if you're not a day trader, you shouldn't be in this market trying to scalp a little bit of profit. You should avoid this at all costs until we see something like this, where you see it slowly rolling up, right? And that's where you go, okay, I'm gonna take a bite out of this, right? So, but you know, some people missed all of this action, and you had plenty of time to get in and buy and ride this wave. But if you missed it, don't worry. Next bus in 10 minutes. And I really think that Bitcoin, if we take an extension here, right, and if we go, we roll an extension from here to here. Oops, wrong way. From here to there. Look where Bitcoin, I think Bitcoin is going to make it up to the golden ratio, which is 1.618, and look what number that's at. I think it's like, let's see here. Did we get the right top there? Yeah, there we go. It's at 14,582. And I think if we get close above that or close around that on a daily or 4-hour time frame, wow, that would create a nice W, and we're off to the races at that point. You can definitely say that we're never coming down to see this bottom again ever once we get up here. So I really think that Bitcoin is going to eventually get up here in the not too distant future. In the meantime, right, in the short time, we could probably come back down and test this trend line before we go higher. But in realistically, and what I would love to see Bitcoin do is come back down to the 50% level of this mark here, from here to there. From here to there. Oops. Let me zoom in. I'm having really trouble managing the screen here so that we don't get all lost. But there we go. And here, oops. I think because I'm using these large cursors now, and I hope you're enjoying the large cursors because now I'm a little trouble trying to manipulate the screen a little bit with the large cursors, but I wanted you guys to be able to see where I'm pointing to, because with a small cursor, most people are having trouble. All right, with that said, we should be scrolling down. We should. I would like it to come down. Look at that. Look what number the 50% level is. Disgusting, isn't it? Disgusting what these guys do. It's at 6,666. I'm not surprised. I would not be surprised if we come and visit that level in the next little while after the halving. So that's one level that we're going to. And the next time after that, I think that's the bottom. Basically, I think you could pretty much say, okay, I'm going to buy that level, right, and watch this thing go a lot higher. That's if we get down there, of course, right? We have to first come back and test this trend line, and then break that trend line and come all the way back down here to that level. But that's where I see it going in the next little while. All right. With that said, if you haven't seen the video that I did with Chris yesterday, please check it out. Awesome video. We talked about the Federal Reserve, not the Federal Reserve, but Snoochie Boochie. Right, getting some money, right, for him and his friends, right? No strings attached, right? So check that video out. Definitely a good episode with Chris from mmCrypto. And yeah, let's talk about the Fed a little bit more, because you know what, I've never ever see what a drug addict looks like. What does a drug addict say to you when they're going through a hard time, right? Something's happened in their lives, right? And like, for example, somebody has died, or they feel that they can't cope with some sort of event that's going around and that they can't control, or something like that. What do they say? They say, now's not the time for me to give up my drug. Now's not the time. Right. I know I need to do right in the future, and I believe that, but right now is not the time. Right. And that's what they say. Right. That's exactly what they say. So I want to show you another drug addict, somebody who's addicted to money printing. That's the Chairman Powell of the Federal Reserve. He's completely addicted to money printing. And let's play a little clip from that.
This is not the time to act on those concerns. This is the time to use the great fiscal power of the United States to do what we can to support the economy and try to get through this with as little damage to the longer run productive capacity of the economy as possible. The time will come again, and reasonably soon, I think, where we can think about a long-term way to get our fiscal house in order, and we absolutely need to do that. But this is not the time to be, in my personal view, this is not the time to let that concern, which is a very serious concern, but to let that get in the way of us winning this battle, really.
Yeah, so that's your drug addict has control of the money supply, the printing press. He's telling you this is not the time to be responsible, to be fiscally responsible, right? And honestly, even if he were to do so, based on the fact that everyone has snorted the cheap money cocaine, it would destroy, if they were to do the right thing, which is raise interest rates to like 30% or more. One, all the states, municipalities, and so forth would go bankrupt. What's it called? The federal government would have to declare bankruptcy. Lots of corporations would have to declare bankruptcy. Probably the only one who might survive, but on their skin of their teeth, only because they have a lot of cash on balance, which is Apple. They have a lot of cash on balance, but if that cash is stored in treasuries, and so if the United States government defaults on that treasuries, then or gives a haircut at least. I think they'd probably just have to take a haircut, because if they went to zero, the federal government, then that would completely pulverize the dollar, absolutely. So they couldn't exactly do that. They couldn't go to zero on their debt. But what they could do is give a 70% haircut across the board, and Apple would be able to survive with that, right? Apple, Microsoft, and a few other companies that are cash rich, but the companies that were sniffing the dollar cocaine or the debt cocaine, they have no chance at all, absolutely zero. And the problem, that would be okay, right? That would be okay if it wasn't for one other thing that's going on in the economy. It's called derivatives. Derivatives are basically a bet on something, right? Against something, either a commodity or other assets. But it's worse than that. It gets worse than that. A lot worse, right? Because there's something called synthetic derivatives. And basically what they are is that, let's just say you think that all these companies, all the oil companies, right, are going to collapse and go bankrupt, and because they're useless. And you say, I want to bet that all the oil companies are going to go bankrupt, because I know that, hey, you know what, they're producing way too much oil. They cannot make a profit. So I think all of them are going to go bankrupt. And there's no way to bet on that other than taking short on those assets, right? And so what the banking system came up with is a synthetic derivative. So where you can basically say, okay, I'm going to pay a premium every month for winnings. If all these companies go bankrupt, or a certain number of these companies go bankrupt, I will get a huge cash reward for that bet. And so a lot of that has been going on through our market. So, for example, a lot more people have bet that, hey, you know what, I'm going to take that bet, and they paid that premium every month. And so if all those companies were to go bankrupt, all those derivatives would come due. And since most of these banks are on the other side of that bet, meaning that they've said, okay, I'll take that cash, and I have my backup of my other assets to cover that, but obviously they don't have enough money for that, to cover all that. So what's happened is if that happens during, if they get all wiped out, all those companies get wiped out from from the fiscal responsibility of the government and the Federal Reserve, then all the banks, every single one, would close. Every single insurance company, every single reinsurance company, you would lose all your insurance. Everything would be gone. Your retirement obviously would be gone as well, and so would anyone who have money in the bank, basically. So effectively, even though they're acting like drug addicts, they have zero choice, right? Because there would be no banks, absolutely none. They'd be all wiped out. So you can bet your top dollar that the only way out is to print. Absolutely, the only way out. And print they will. So you must be prepared for that, and also basically buy gold, silver, and Bitcoin using basic techniques such as dollar cost averaging. Don't get caught up in these everyday pumps and dumps, right? Because that's how you lose money. That's how you buy the tops and you sell the bottoms. Please just stick to a plan, a simple plan. If you have to ask me, should I buy right now? Then you are doing it wrong. If you ask me, anyone asks me, should you buy right now to make some quick gains? You are doing it wrong. You shouldn't have to ask me, right? You should know. And if you don't know, then you should take some classes. And I happen to have a link to classes where I learned how to trade. And that's even if you don't become a day trader using those classes, you will always know when to sell high and buy low, and that will create a large amount of wealth for you in the future. All right, let's head over to the chat group and see what you guys are saying. I've noticed that my chat my chat has frozen, so I'm gonna have to go to the stream and see what's going on. Let's see here, your channel and live, and there we go. So there's a chat group. Is there? Yep, there we go. The last person said print it. Okay, so was there any super chats there? Yes, there was. Okay, so. Super Googly, always sending me money. Thank you very much, Super Googly, for your kind donation every time on this live stream. Wow, you're a dedicated fan. Thank you very much. I am so tempted to sell part of my crypto portfolio now. My average for BTC is around 6K. ETH is around 110. Should I sell a small part of it and continue holding until 100K? For BTC. Now, as I was saying in this video, if you in the sense of like, should you buy? If you ask me if you should buy or should you sell, you're doing it wrong. You need to take some time and learn how to trade in order to profit from this. Now, I'm going to tell you what I would do, Super Googly. It's not necessarily what you should do, right? So. That's how I'm going to frame this, and basically, because you've already taken because you're in huge profits, it's okay to take some off the table. It's okay to get some profits and say, you know what, that's good. I'm happy with that. I'm going to either spend it or invest in something else, right? That's fine that's a good idea to do. Even if it goes higher, you did the right thing. You did the right thing. In my sense, I would feel that I did the right thing, at least, at the very least. Okay. Is there any more questions from anyone else in the room here? All right. So Quantum. Let's see here. Quantum Trader. I think it is Quantum Trade is asking, do you think Feds, etc. see a recession coming and they have used the so-called crisis to line all their pockets? Okay, so Did the Fed see the recession coming? Yes, they did, because you saw that back in September when I was like, okay, I'm looking at what the Fed looking at, and so obviously they see something bigger than I see. And so that means sometime in about 6 months, there's going to be a massive disruption in the market. And I was right. And so they saw this recession coming, and they've already planned to, make sure their friends are well off. You can guarantee that. The printing of money gives them the advantage to know what's going to happen, and they're going to do it. They're going to use that to enrich themselves and their friends and family. Of course, you would do the same. So it's natural that they and besides, they're criminals. So criminals will do things unscrupulously. All right, so next question. Let's see here. Do we have another question here? Viewers. Okay, well, we only have like 373 viewers today. But you know what? That's all right. I'm happy to be here with all you guys, sharing my knowledge, sharing what I have to say. All right, so next one is Crypto Johnny. Could BTC retrace from here? I guess is what he's saying. Yes, it could. We've already talked about that in the stream. So all right, next question here. Daryl Johnston. All right, Davinci, I'm a hodler and I bought ETH earlier today. Was it silly to FOMO in? Yes. It was silly to FOMO in. Because it's easy, right? The market is designed to take the most amount of money from the most amount of people most of the time. And what we do is, as human beings, we are emotional, and we have a herd mentality, and the market takes advantage of that. And it does that by rising the price and then dumping it on you, right? Every single time. And so you chase markets moving up, and then you dump when markets moving down, because you feel that, if prices are going up, you're missing something. Some people are buying, right, is what you know. So you are, it's basically, let me just explain it another way. If you were in a crowd of people just, minding your business, chatting with everybody, and then all of a sudden a huge crowd of people started running, and you didn't know why, you'd automatically, right, out of instinct, run with them, not knowing why they were running. This is part of our instinctive behavior, right, for survival, right? And the same applies with the markets. Once you see everybody moving into one direction with Bitcoin, you instinctively feel that you must do the exact same thing. And that's why you automatically go and FOMO buy markets moving up. Because from your perspective, the fundamentals of these things, and people are rushing to it, right? And so, did you make a mistake? Did you not forgetting to buy at the lows? That's what you feel, right? Oh my God, I should have bought when it was lower. I knew I should have done that, and I didn't. And so now it's higher. What do I do, right? And so you end up FOMOing in, right? And people will constantly do that every single time. Even rich people will do that all the time. They can't help themselves because they are humans just like you and me. And so that's why you'll see that over and over again in the market, forever and ever. Prices will go up and slam when you buy, because you're afraid that they'll keep going higher. They'll slam right back down every single time. All right, next question here. Alrighty. Okay, let's see. Brandon Jackson, you're by yourself today? Yeah, I'm by myself. NT is nowhere to be seen. I haven't seen him in the chat room. I'm wondering where he's at. All right. Okay, I guess he forgot to wake up, set his alarm today. All right, next person here. Savannah, I think is the name. Can't pronounce the first name, but anyways, I still see people say it's going to 4K. What do you say to them? Yeah, it's possible. Possible. Unlikely. Right? Anything's possible, but is it likely? Right? No, I don't think it's likely. And that's what I'd say to them. All right. So next question here. Well, you know what? Another one from Brandon Jackson. Is it possible to still fall to 4K with so many people still attached to the stock market? Well, I think I pretty much answered that, right? I mean, I think Bitcoin will come back down to maybe 666, right? $6,666, right? But that's probably where the lows are going to be. Yeah, so next question. You know, I noticed I did not turn on the lights, actually. And it wasn't so bad. Look at that. I forgot to turn these lights on. Oh, yeah, that's much better. Alrighty. So, next question is here. No comment on VeChain from Jay Mayer. No comment. Let's see here. Here I am. Here. Hey. Oh, okay. Inti, there you go. So you have been here all this time, Inti? That's good. That's good. Okay. Let's see here. Diego Chagas. Let's say yesterday I sold at almost 9,000, 8,900. After looking the charts, I went to sleep, but I left an order to buy at 9,000. So sick. Do you think I can make a day trade? Oh, dude, you know what? Whenever you make mistakes as a trader, I'm not saying that you should do this. I'm just saying as a day trader who makes those kind of mistakes from time to time, what you're supposed to do is immediately at any price fix clean up the mistake. So that means, let's just say you bought at the wrong price, you need to sell, right? And just take the loss, right? As a learning exercise. And that's that. I mean, there is nothing else you can do as a trader. What you should do in your case, I'm going to leave that up to you. But that's what I'd do if I made that kind of mistake. All right. Julia Petina, you will not believe the next target price. What's the price? Well, we did mention two prices, right? One is 6,666 is one way that the market could go down to, and I think that's where we're going to drop to. Is most likely, and then we're going to move all the way up to the 14,500 level in the next little while, probably the next 6 months or so. So that's my target for the next 6 months. All right, next question. All right, if you plan to hold to new all-time highs, was FOMOing in today still a bad idea? No, if that was your plan, if you plan to FOMO in, sure, it's not a bad idea. If you didn't plan to FOMO in, it was a bad idea, right? You should have planned to buy low and sell high. That's how you should plan, not to run with the crowds, right? That's how you lose money because. Imagine now you bought now. Imagine you buying right now, and how you feel when Bitcoin is crashing down to 6,666. You're gonna feel horrible, or even if it goes slowly down there, you're gonna feel sicker and sicker. Oh, well, maybe it's gonna go even lower, and you're gonna get that feeling that, oh, well, you know what? I'll just sell now, and I'll buy lower, and that's how you'll feel, and then you're gonna do it, and then end up not getting back in. So that's generally what happens to people who FOMO. So the market does this because they know they can get these bitcoins at a cheaper price from people FOMOing in. All right, so next question here. Let's see here. Some Ahmed Tufal. Do you remember Cryptopia? Yes. I got out of that just in time. Is there any chance to get your coins back? Let's see here. Cryptopia. Now, oh yes, that's right, Cryptopia. I was thinking about Cryptsy. You know what? You know what? I have like, I lost like 40K in Cryptopia actually. The Cryptsy I got out on time. Cryptopia did not. I'm gonna check into that because like I haven't looked at their what's going on with that in quite some time. But you know what? If people haven't got their coins back from empty Gox yet, I don't expect that I would do this. I'd be as luckier than they are. So I expect a worse outcome for Cryptopia in a longer time frame. So we will see. I will just I'll check in and get back to you guys on that because I did lose quite a bit. Okay. Let's see here. Next question is from Brandon Jackson. Can you show us some really good indicators to use? Oh, sure. Why not? Let's bring up the screen. And one of the good indicators to use is what's called which is like free and you can get it on TradingView, is Lucid Czar. I like that, and I can show you how to use that a little bit, right? I'm not going to go into a large overview of this thing, but Lucid Czar. And I'm going to hide some of the stuff here so that we can like see this a little bit better. Let's see here. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to delete. This is done now. We've already talked about that. And delete that. And I'm going to leave that line up here. Well, you know what? I already have a line somewhere else. All right. So we bounce off that line. So yeah, Lucid Czar, okay, is you could see here. I'm going to hide it, and so they can see the difference, right? Is these plus signs, right, that you see here, right? And what this is designed for is for commodities traders, because commodities are basically very volatile. And so what it indicates is when the Czar is above, right, it means the market should be in a downtrend. When it's below, it's in an uptrend. And what it also does, it gives you a point to basically take a stop loss. You could take effectively a stop loss at these points. So take a look. For example, if you went long on the daily chart at this point, right, you could see you can put your stop losses and move your stop losses along the way on the Lucid Czars, all the way up, and you can watch as it comes back. And then as soon as it comes back, you're like, okay, well, I'll take a stop. I'll get out of the trade, right? And then you can see, even at this level, if you got in at this level, you would have made a small profit, right? That's if you got out exactly at that. Now, I wouldn't have got out exactly on that trade, but you could have, right? And still made a small profit, depending on where you got in on the Lucid Czar. But what you could have done is like bought this thing, assumed that, hey, you know what, this is too far from the Lucid Czar, and I'm gonna buy this, and when it breaks, buy this down here. When it breaks and comes back and breaks the Lucid Czar the next time, I'm going to get out. So you can see it broke it, and then you could go, okay, now I'm going to set my stop losses with the Lucid Czar after buying this downtrend here as it comes out and goes, okay, well, this is going too far, too fast from the Czar, so I'm going to buy that. And so you can use it in that sense to help you time the market to get out of your trades, and that's one thing. This is just a basic overview of Lucid Czar, and so I hope you got something out of it. I'm sure if you do some more research online, you can find some more information on the Lucid Czar. All right, next question, and we'll call it a day. All right, so Ronnie D has a question for me. Where will ETH be in the next 6 months? Well, I think it's been a brutal year for Ethereum, the worst I've ever seen. Right? Normally, when Ethereum bottoms in December, it never sees the bottom again. And then this year was quite different. It hit the bottom and once again it went below the bottom of December lows, but didn't stay there very long, of course. But it was a brutal bottoming, and I think has to be the absolute bottom. But anything can happen, of course. But I think that was the second bottom. Will be the last, and we'll see Ethereum at some new highs, right? Not all-time highs, but let's just take a look at where we might see Ethereum in the next little while. All right, so hang on a second. Ethereum, right? 6 months from now. Let's scroll out. Go to a weekly. The perpetual swaps is probably not the greatest place to be. Let's just use that because I don't want to spend too much time. So really, I think this swing high here will be taken out in the next 6 months, basically. We might have to come back a little bit before we do that, but once we do, this high is going to be taken out, especially with all the money printing. It's an easy thing to call, basically. 366 taken out for sure. Easy, walk in the park. All right. Well, thank you everyone for watching. I really appreciated everyone coming out to the live stream, even though we only had 400 people coming out to this live stream. I'm surprised because I had this thing out for quite some time, and I expected a little bit more participation than I got. But you know what? I'm not surprised. I'm just surprised that YouTube might have been blocking some of my viewers and forgetting to notifying them, because we've seen that with Alessio Sani and quite a few others. I still don't get any notifications about Alessio Sani's videos whenever he does them. So I probably won't. A lot of you guys are not getting the notifications as well. So in that case, I think maybe we should start. I'm going to start in a little while. I'm going to create a website so that you guys can send your emails, and we will just notify you directly. Only notify you of videos and not use your emails for anything else. But I want to use that so that you guys who are interested in watching videos from me can know when I've actually done a video, instead of having YouTube tell you when I've done a video, because they're just horrible. Well, thank you for watching, and if you haven't seen the videos popping up here, right, please check them out, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.